use the fluid systems in hydraulic fracturing operations that we do. Why do we use this slick water? Why do we use this crosslinker? That's what we're going to talk about. A crosslink fluid system was kind of the initial fluid system that was utilized for hydraulic fracturing operations and has remained the mainstay for formations with higher porosity and permeability. Right? If we have a formation downhole that has good permeability or decent permeability within the rock, so that is to say oil and natural gas is somewhat easily able to flow within the rock, then the pressures in the pore spaces is not that high. As a result, we can pump a thicker fluid downhole, knowing that we will not require very much pressure to exceed that capillary pressure. And that way we can keep the fracture within the formation. But at the same time, it makes it much easier to carry our proppant downhole with a thicker gel. Right? Let's take a look. I've got some peat gravel here from the street, used to simulate proppant. Now, of course, actual proppant in industry would be much smaller, but as you can see, right, this fluid does an exceptional job of suspending the proppant in place. Right? After all, we need a fluid that can hold the proppant so that we can actually get it into those fractures in the formation. If we just have all of our sand or proppant pile up at the bottom of the wellbore, pressures are going to rise very, very quickly. We're not going to achieve what we came to do. Slick water systems, on the other hand, well, where would we use those? A really thin fluid? It's basically as low viscosity as that of water. I mean, take a look at, right, how our proppant just falls through it. Well, with shale or really tight formations, because though permeability between those pore throats is so low, and the pore throats themselves are smaller, in addition to geology factors that we have not discussed in this video, and the depth at which these reservoirs are typically found, the capillary pressures are extremely high. In order to initiate that fracture and then propagate it as we continue pumping on it, we need a thinner fluid that can get that ball rolling. The only problem, as you saw, is the thinner fluid is not able to suspend the proppant in place. And that is why with slick water-based systems, we pump them at extremely high rates so that that sand stays suspended in the fluid. This is also the reason why, as we discussed in our previous video, a friction reducer is added to this fluid, making it rather slippery. Because we're pumping it at such high rates, we want to reduce the friction downhole as much as possible.